Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Seth. In today's video we're going to be reviewing / rating the movie In the Grey. Now this movie is written and directed by Guy Ritchie, and the cast stars Henry Cavill as Sid, Jake Gyllenhaal as Bronco, and Eiza Gonzalez as Rachel Wilde. And it's your modern day action-packed spy movie with some Guy Ritchie touch added to it. And how I found out about this movie was I was watching some trailers for some upcoming movies about like 2 months ago, and this trailer came up on the video. And when I first watched a couple seconds, I was like, oh, okay, this just looks like your standard movie, and then it happened by Guy Ritchie, and I said, okay, I'm seated, I'm sat, I'm intrigued, I will watch this movie. Because to me, Guy Ritchie has such a mind, and just so great to see his action movies. You know, when they're doing the mission and the action to it, it's very clear and just visually stunning to watch. So now that I've seen this movie, here's my review and my rating on it. And the synopsis of this movie is Rachel is a negotiator / lawyer for these drug lords, and Sid and Bronco are her hitman / bodyguards. And throughout this movie, Rachel is trying to make this wealthy drug lord named Salazar pay his debts. And this movie really shows you the criminal underworld, you know, and how things are run, and shows you the people even too, you know. You know, these drug lords are not your street level drug lords. These are wealthy people who are multi-millionaires to even multi-billionaires. They have their own private islands, their own private jets, you know. To them, money's not an issue. What they want, they can get. And even if they lose like 50 million, it's not like a, how are we gonna get this back? It's just an annoyance, you know, to them. And this movie really shows you too how precise, talented, and organized some of these groups have to be on their missions. Communication really is key part to this mission, you know. But they do it in such, as I said, a nice, smoothly way. Like each group member, you know, Sid, Bronco, Rachel, or even other group members have their own little part to do, you know. Like let's say for example, one person is the person to get the transportation, and the higher up person says, okay, I need 2 vans, 1 car, 1 truck, 3 dirt bikes, by tomorrow at 8 AM, that person will get it for you, you know. And it just really too shows you just, as I said, it has a Guy Ritchie touch to this movie, because Guy Ritchie's doing this movie. It really shows you how, when they're making the plan and how the mission is going to go, they're going to show you in time too how they're doing it. So like, in some scenes, they'll have a map, and they'll be like, okay, we're going to get to point A through point B. And while they're talking, they'll show you, you know, them getting through that time period. And they'll also show you too, well, if that does not work, it's point C to point D, you know. And they're going to show you that too even. And while they're doing that, the dialogue is so clear that it's just very easy to follow through is what I'm trying to say, you know. But also at the same time too, this environment can be very cutthroat and high stressed. For the high stress point, you know, you're dealing with people who are like, okay, I needed to do this at that time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because if you don't get it done, you're either spending the rest of your life in your jail or you're dead. So you really have to be wary of surroundings and really having backups, you know. And this is where the cutthroat part comes in, you know. Each person is trying to move up the ladder, you know, in a sense. And it doesn't matter if you've been working for that person for 5 years or been working for that person for 2 days, you know. Each person is trying to move up the ladder, and they don't mind if they have to take you out, you know, in a sense. But the stealer of the show, in my opinion, is Eiza Gonzalez as Rachel. She plays such a stone-cold person, you know, and does it so very well. Like, she's a person who really knows what she wants, knows how to get it, and won't ask you twice, you know. Because in some of these negotiation scenes with the drug lord Salazar is being very harsh, threatening even sometimes, and even saying hateful things. And Rachel stands her own in those negotiations, you know. and it's just really nice to see. She really played such a great role in this movie. Hats off to you, Eiza Gonzalez. Now, those were some things I liked about the movie. Here's one thing I did not like about the movie, and this was just my personal opinion why I did not like it, you know. At the end, it just ends very quickly, and then boom, the credits roll, and you're like, wow, that's it? That's the ending? To me, I feel like if you really just gave it 2 or 3 more minutes to flesh it out and give a little bit more backing of it, that would just been cool, but that's just my opinion on it, you know. Overall, I still enjoyed the movie, you know. My rating for this would be a 3 out of 5. As I said, it's your modern day action-packed spy movie with a Guy Ritchie touch to it, which to me, Guy Ritchie just does action movies so well because, you know, he has a clear view on how the mission and the action is going to go through. While watching it, it's also very visually stunning, you know. Doesn't matter what age range you're at, young, old, or if you're by yourself or with a family, any person can enjoy this movie, and it's just a great form of entertainment. So yeah, that was my movie, that was my review and rating on it. Thank you for watching as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye!